Are you the kind of person who doesn't like taking down the skeletons and spiders until after January? Well, we've got the AdaBox for you. This is electronics at its most spooky. AdaBox 009 is Halloween themed for all of us who love scares, costumes, and of course, candy. Okay, so we didn't fill this AdaBox with candy corn, but we did curate a collection of inspiring electronics to make your Halloween more electric. You might have so much fun, you'll celebrate it year-round. Welcome to the AdaBox 9 unboxing. I'm John Park for Adafruit Industries, and we're really glad you were able to join us here for this very special unboxing tonight. Now, if you're a subscriber, you've probably gotten your box in the mail by now, and you can play along and unbox with me. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe to AdaBox 10 so you can play along next time. Now, this being a very special Halloween AdaBox, we have perhaps our spookiest product yet inside. So why don't you join me for the unboxing? Let's take a look inside of the white shipping box. Inside we have AdaBox 9 in the very exciting orange Halloween edition color. But before we take a look inside the box, let's have a look at these great extras that we have here. First of all, we have two Halloween-themed Adafruit character sticker sheets. These are really cool. They've got great designs of a lot of our favorite characters in their Halloween costumes. And you can place these on your cauldron or perhaps your broom, or you may want to use them to decorate these really cool Adafruit Halloween cards. Now you can use them as a backdrop for the stickers, or we also have a tutorial on how to make your own stop motion animation, and these make the perfect backdrop for that as well. Also inside of the shipping box, we have our own Lady Ada on the cover of S'more magazine. Now, S'more magazine is a science magazine targeted towards girls who can't stop wondering about the world around them. But even if you're not a girl, I think you'll enjoy this excellent magazine. Now, let's have a look at the contents of our AdaBox itself. The first thing you're going to see is we have our sheet that comes along with AdaBox 9, and it describes all of the contents, as well as it has a few really interesting URLs you'll want to visit that will take you to the tutorials for AdaBox 9, as well as the forums where you can discuss your projects. There is also information about the 10% discount code that you can use in the Adafruit store if you are a subscriber. Now, opening it up. The first thing I want to show you in here is really the star of the show. This is the Halloween. The Halloween is an M0 Express microcontroller board that has all kinds of cool features. First of all, it's shaped like a skull. That's pretty darn cool for a microcontroller board. It also has a 128 by 128 pixel TFT display. It has 4 capacitive touch sensors that are also the skull's fangs. It has a 3-axis accelerometer we can use for different types of motion sensing. It also has a forward-facing light sensor. It's got battery charging built on for LiPo batteries. It has an on-off switch, and it is a full-blown feather microcontroller, which means it can use any of the feather wings in the Adafruit feather line. It's an incredible board, really cool, and we've got a ton of great projects that we've created, as well as many more to come in the future. This is a great board for wearing, attaching to costumes, using in props, or even just standalone. That is the Halloween M0 Express in our AdaBox. Now, let's take a look at some of the other things in the box to go along with our Halloween. One of the things we love to do with AdaBoxes is include tons of great stuff that you can use in your projects with the featured microcontroller. So, having a look here, we've got this convex lens, which can be used to magnify anything that you place it over, but specifically, we intend it to be used to magnify the screen on your Halloween. Now, this is pretty cool for creating the eyeball effects if you want to place it into, let's say, a mask or a skull or as a wearable, but we don't want you to have to hold that lens in place with some tape. So we have this really great acrylic mounting kit that simply goes right over the lens like this, and then we have some little nylon screws and spacers and nuts that can be used to affix it right to the Halloween. And this way you'll be able to embed that in your project without worrying about where the lens is going to go. Let's see, what else have we got? Ooh, we have a motion sensor. This is a PIR sensor that can be used to detect movement by humans mostly, but other large, warm creatures that move around. And this will give you some interactivity with your Halloween projects. Let's see, what else have we got? We have a micro servo. This is great for creating projects where your Halloween can control movement. We have some projects that we'll show you in our Learn Guide that allow you to create jump scare pranks, for example. When the Halloween, using the PIR sensor, detects motion, it can turn the servo to drop something right in front of your unsuspecting victim. And that also comes with a number of horns or arms that you can place on the shaft of the servo. We also have this great little 8-ohm speaker. And this has a small JST plug that actually plugs right into the Halloween. So the Halloween actually has a number of these ports where you can plug things in. And we have a few things in mind and things that come in the AdaBox that plug very specifically into those ports, but we think it makes it a lot easier to quickly create projects where you don't have to worry as much about the wiring. And let's see, also we have a LiPo battery. So this is a 3.7 volt, 400 milliamp hour battery. And once again, this plugs directly into a port, the little battery port right here on the Halloween, and it was sourced to fit right between these rows of headers on the Halloween, which makes it really convenient. You can just use a small piece of double stick foam tape if you like, and your battery will nestle very nicely right there in the back of the board. And this also has a very short cable that we had sourced specifically so that you don't have a lot of wiring running off to the edges. So you'll be able to power up your projects using that LiPo, and when you plug in the Halloween to a USB power supply, you can use the Halloween to charge up your LiPo battery. Let's see, what else have we got? Ooh, this is pretty great. We've got a very specific Neopixel strip that was designed to work with the Halloween using this JST PH connector. So I'm going to take this off of the spool here, and this is a 1/2 meter long RGB Neopixel LED strip that is flexible, and it has this silicone housing, and there are 30 LEDs on this. So again, this will plug right into the Neopixel port on the Halloween, and you'll find it very easy to code. Did I mention the Halloween can be coded in Adafruit's make code, it can be coded in CircuitPython, and it can be coded with Arduino. So you have a lot of options for displaying all kinds of cool animations and lighting effects on your Neopixel strip with it plugged into the Halloween. Next up, we have a little bag of goodies here. I'm just going to spread these out and we'll take a look. Okay, this is a little 10K potentiometer that you can use to control all sorts of things in your code on the Halloween. For example, if you want to adjust the speed of an animation on your Neopixels, this is the knob that you'll want to use. We also have a pair of 10mm diffused red LEDs. These are nice big LEDs, and you can in fact see them in use right here on this skull I built, acting as eyes. And the way that they are attached is with these little panel mounts. So these allow you to put the little holders into a panel, or in this case, a milk jug skull, and then that will hold the LEDs in place nicely. Now, in order to connect things like the potentiometer or the LEDs to the Halloween, we can use these little male to female extension jumper cables, which also segues nicely into these two pretty special sets of extension cables. They are a male and female version of header pin to JST PH connectors. So these are, again, some of the special connections that we have built onto the Halloween. So you'll be able to do things like plug in your servo right into one of the ports on here, or we have a little sense port on the Halloween that you can use to plug in your PIR sensor, again, using this little special cable. So that makes it very easy to wire up your projects. A couple last things that we have in the box here. I've got a lanyard. Now this lanyard has a couple of clips on it that can be used to attach it to our Halloween. So if I pull this little clasp, we have mounting holes on the Halloween that you can click onto there, and then you'll be able to wear that around your neck, sort of like a conference badge, and you'll be able to personalize the graphics or go with one of our cool eyeball options if you like. And this being Halloween, we have a very fun rubber cockroach that you can use for different pranks. I know he's kind of gross, but he's a lot of fun. One of the projects that you'll see in our tutorials uses some fishing line and our little cockroach friend as a jump scare. As you can see, AdaBox 9 is just packed full of great stuff, and it all fits this excellent Halloween theme. So let's do a little recap of what's in the box. You've got the Hallowing M0 Express microcontroller board, and then all of these great things that can work with it in your projects. We have a 1/2 meter long Neopixel strip with 30 RGB LEDs on it that plugs right into the Halloween. We have a little lanyard that you can use to wear the Halloween around your neck. We have this micro servo that you can use to move things, as well as a little set of horns or arms to go onto the micro servo. We have these JST 3PH connector cables, as well as the male-female extension jumpers. An 8-ohm speaker for adding sound to your projects. We have the excellent convex lens and mounting kit that you can use to place over the screen on the Halloween. A nice little 400 milliamp hour 3.7 volt LiPo battery. We've got the PIR sensor that you can use to detect motion. A little 10K potentiometer that you can use to adjust things in your code on the fly. A couple of 10mm red diffused LEDs and holders. And then we have these excellent extras. We've got the S'more magazine with Ladyada on the cover, an excellent article inside about Ladyada and Adafruit. And we have our Adafruit Halloween characters sticker sheets and the 5 Halloween background cards for use with the stickers. Wow, that AdaBox is packed full of good stuff. I really hope you've enjoyed this unboxing of AdaBox 9. I know I have. One thing I wanted to do before we go is simply fire up the Halloween to show you if you plug in the battery and turn on the on switch, you'll be treated to the uncanny eye animation. And we can even take our convex lens and place that right on the eyeball for an even more creepy, fun time. This is an incredible AdaBox with lots of great stuff in it. And next you'll be able to start building things with it. So be sure to go and check out the Learn Guide for AdaBox 9. We have a lot of really cool projects in it that'll get you started, and then you'll be able to take it in any direction that you want. For Adafruit Industries, this has been John Park with the AdaBox 9 unboxing. Don't go anywhere because, let me turn down my volume here. Now, here I am live. That was actually pre-recorded. I know we call the unboxing live, but that bit was done a little earlier, and now I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the projects and the guides that we have for our wonderful AdaBox 9. So here, let me pop this up right here. I've got a couple things to bring up. Ooh, here's another one. I've got one of the eyes on my green screen, see? I just want to put that eyeball there. That's kind of fun. So this is our AdaBox 9 guide, and if you head here, you will find out some of the basic ideas behind our AdaBox and a little history behind the creation of the AdaBox, which is our quarterly subscription box, as anyone watching this probably knows. But if you're new joining us, this is where all the action is. So don't forget, you can subscribe now for AdaBox 10, not AdaBox, AdaBox 10 if you want to get in on it for, I think, around December sometime. Don't hold me to that, but that's our plan for the next one. And if you take a look at our main guide here, we have a full unboxing in convenient internet print form rather than the video you just saw. And that will take you through some descriptions of all the parts and goodies and things. Can you believe how packed full of good stuff this AdaBox is? First of all, the Halloween is just on its own incredible. It's an incredible board, a lot of fun, and I haven't even really started exploring adding wings to it, but it takes all the feather wings in the feather ecosystem. So once we start doing that, boy, it's pretty great. I've seen some projects that people have been doing out there on the internet where they're adding things like the Music Maker Featherwing and playing songs off of SD cards. It's pretty great. So that's the first page you'll see there is some of the contents from the unboxing. And then we dive into the very first guide here is all about the Halloween. So this will take you through the specs, the pinouts. You can see how you will set it up for use in the Arduino IDE. Take a look at all of the different connectors on it. I had mentioned those connectors earlier. So the JST connectors that are on there, we have the power, as you've probably gotten used to on our feather boards. We have a little small connector for the LiPo batteries, and that also has built-in battery charging. And then we have 3 other ports on here besides the usual pins. So you can use all the pins that are on the feather headers as usual. Then we have a port just for Neopixels, and you can actually use it to drive other things, but we have a port designed just for driving Neopixels that is, I believe it's a 5-volt out on that, which is what Neopixels expect, even though the board runs at 3 volts. And correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I know we have Ladyada and Mr. Ladyada and a bunch of other good Adafruit people in our Discord chat, and probably also in the YouTube chat, so go check those out if you have questions. And I'll take a look at those later too and answer any questions you have. Then we also have the Sense port, and that's designed to use as an analog input sensor, so you can plug in your potentiometer to it, you can plug in distance sensors, light sensors, things like that. And then we have a speaker output, so we have a little convenient plug to use with that 8-ohm speaker so that you can play sounds. One of the really cool things about the Halloween, especially running CircuitPython, is that you can play wave files right off of the board. So you can upload small sound clips, and then play them while you're still doing other things, which is really tremendous and very easy to set up. I've got a few projects that you'll see here that take advantage of that. So here is a very basic use of the screen, which is as an image viewer. So this first guide, the Halloween badge image viewer, will take you through just a very simple flipper for images, or you might just want to hold a still image up there, like a "Hello, my name is" type of badge. We have this Halloween light paint stick project. I've got my light paint stick right here. This is a really cool project. We've done a number of light paint sticks over the years, and this one is very easy to set up with the Halloween right there attached to this paint stick that I've painted up, and then the strip of Neopixels that are just simply plugged into the Halloween there, into that port. I'll turn this on. What you're going to see, since we don't have a low light, long exposure situation, is that when I tap on one of the teeth, it's going to display the images that actually lead to that bat. I don't think you'll see it here, moving it back and forth. That's the idea, is you'll move this slowly in front of a long exposure photograph, and you'll get images like that series of bats there. And if you look through this guide, there's a lot of different images and animations that we've created, some that just stay lit the whole time and you can paint with, like this big rainbow type of swirly effect. Actually, I lie, that one is going through an animation pattern, so that it has a little bit of shape to it, these little sort of sawtooth shapes or triangle shapes. And then, let's see, we've got the Halloween Spirit Board. This is a, I don't want to get sued, but you've probably heard of these more as a Ouija board. And it's just in fun. This is not meant to be a exploration into the occult, I promise you. But this is a really large bitmap file that moves around using the accelerometer on the Halloween as you shift it around, and shows you different parts of the board. We also have this Halloween jump scare that I mentioned using our friend the cockroach. And this also uses that PIR sensor. So we've got the PIR sensor, which notices the heat signature of a big human walking up to it, or zombie maybe. And when it sees that, the Halloween tells the servo to move and drop down our little cockroach, which is attached to the, a piece of fishing line so it doesn't fall to the ground. And it also plays a hissing sound over the speaker. So these are really kind of impressive how many things are packed into the Halloween as the sort of evolution of microcontrollers and the programming languages that we can use to create projects, using things like make code for drag and drop simplicity, or circuitpython for really wonderful fast iteration, or Arduino when you need stuff that's heftier, heavy-duty code that runs fast. So we've got a lot of options, and the boards have so many things that they can do. Here's another fun project. I built a Halloween lightsaber. Here's one of them. I actually made a couple different ones that this one uses a store-bought handle, and our Halloween is on there to provide sound and effects for the sword itself. So turn that on. The rainbow style one. So we have also a more standard Jedi and Sith mode version, which is that red one there. What else have we got? We've done the all-seeing skull. So here, this is one that I can just switch to the overhead if you want to see that one a little closer up. Here we go. This one is off there to the side, and he's lit up and alive right now. So I've got our Halloween actually hidden in the back of this plastic skull from the store, and using the PIR sensor to sense when someone is approaching it, and then it will kind of come to life. And it's also using the light sensor that's built onto the board to determine how big or small to make the pupil, so it's sort of reactive to light. Boy, what else have we got? Let's look here. Oh, the Halloween Minotaur Maze. So this is one that Phil B. created. Phil B. is also the author of our eyeball projects, and does some really amazing stuff in code on these boards. And this one demonstrates how some of the earlier first-person shooters were created with this sort of ray casting 2D technique that looks like 3D. Amazing. That's running on that board, a very cool demo. And oh, here's this very cool Hocus Pocus book that was created by the Ruiz brothers and Brandy Ruiz, which embeds the eye in a sort of craft project book from the movie Hocus Pocus. And here's my milk jug skull. Actually, you can't see it too well in the real world, I think, because of the lighting. But here's a skull, whoops, that's attached to a USB cable. I just sort of plucked an eyeball out, I think. So this skull is brightly red in real life here, which you can probably only see in the reflection on my hands. And it's shifting through colors. And that skull was made as a sort of craft project by heat forming a milk jug around a plastic skull from the store. Gives it a great diffusing look. Here's a terrific project from Aaron St. Blaine about building mirror masks using the Neopixels and the Halloween. Unbelievable results. Look at these. They're gorgeous. And here's a really appropriate one, I think, from Phil B, which is last minute Halloween accoutrement, which is you've got to, oh my gosh, I need to add something to my costume, so I'm going to throw on some coveralls and a badge with a Mario coin sound on it when you jump. We also got a Star Trek communicator, and I think we're adding some other sort of small little projects as we head up towards Halloween that will be some great last-minute uses. And then to round things out in a slightly different direction, it doesn't use the Halloween, but I created a guide on some of the basics of stop-motion animation, and it's a way that you can use the stickers and the Halloween cards that come in your AdaBox. It's just one of many ways. You can also create cards to send to people for Halloween with them, but I thought this would be a fun way for people to learn about some of the basics of stop-motion animation and make some little movies. So that is the guides that we've created, and I'm sure that there will be more, and we're really looking forward to seeing the things that people will be creating. Heard my network was struggling. I hope that wasn't going on for too long. I just tweaked the button there, so hopefully that will kick back in. And so let me switch cameras over here to the Workbench, and I will just give you another look at some of the stuff in the box and some of the projects, and even a little tease for some stuff that's coming up. So here you can see in the overhead I've got the skull I just showed. Here is the Halloween in its lanyard mode, and I've got the battery attached on the back there like I showed in the video. It's really terrific to have. I've just got a little piece of foam double stick tape on there, and so it's really great to have that as something you can just put around your neck and either have the eyeball there to freak people out, or you might, like I said, use it as a slideshow for pictures or a hello, my name is type of badge. And let's see, what else do we want to show? The magazine, Smart Magazine. This is a really interesting one, so I hope that you're able to take a look at it and then maybe pass it along to some other people who might want to have a look at this wonderful science magazine directed towards girls, but certainly anyone is welcome to read it. And as we head up to Halloween, I mentioned we're going to continue building projects around the Halloween. So I've got something in store for tomorrow. So I have my live stream show tomorrow. And just a little teaser here is it's going to be a simple type of Halloween hack involving this Terminator mask that I've turned into a Terminator bust. So it could be kind of a cool thing to put in the window. Obviously, the Halloween doesn't have to only be Halloween-based things, so we've actually got some projects we're thinking about that will utilize the microcontroller and the screen and the touch, capacitive touch, while obscuring some of the skull portions of it to make a sort of more fancy-looking image viewer. So those are just some of the things to look forward to as we continue building projects with Halloween. One thing I want to mention before we go is that just for tuning in to the broadcast tonight, we have a coupon code for you. And that is 10% off in the Adafruit store with the coupon code UNBOXIN. So if you want to go to the store, you can get anything other than subscriptions, gift certificates, and software. But if you want to get goods, products, cool things to hack with, cool things to add to your projects that you're going to make with your AdaBox 9, go for it and you'll get 10% off. Also, I want to mention again that we have AdaBox 10 is ready to go for subscription. It's not ready to go to ship. That'll be a while, but you can subscribe to AdaBox, and I don't know if I can add a link in here right now without compromising my stream, but if you go to adafruit.com/AdaBox, you will find the necessary links to go and subscribe. And the last thing I want to do is just see if there are any other questions or comments or thoughts that people have. We're really eager to hear about if you've already started building things. Maybe you already had your AdaBox open and you've been building things. We'd love to hear about those. We'll just go for a few more minutes, but I know that Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada and a bunch of other great Adafruit people are in the chat on Discord. So head on over there and let's see if you have any questions or comments. Let's see. Well, I'm glad to hear my video stream got better. Yeah, a couple times it started to fade out. It looks like it's struggling a little bit right now, which I don't know why. I'm very sorry about that. And someone asked, is there a regular Ask an Engineer? I didn't say this before, but no, this is a very special takeover, unboxing takeover edition of Ask an Engineer. So we will return next week to our usual Ask an Engineer that you've come to know and love. And like I said, I'll have my regular live stream tomorrow, which is at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I'll be working on the Terminator build. And let's see, what other questions have we got? Well, I'll be hanging around in the chat. If anyone has any comments or questions, please join us there. But otherwise, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in for the AdaBox 9 unboxing. I'm John Park for Adafruit, and I will see you next time.